In this video, I'm going to share with you the progress that I'm making towards my goals for the year 2019. It's been about 30 days now since I've updated you on how I'm doing with my goals for this year. Remember, for me, this is a challenge to be vulnerable with you and to share how I'm doing at keeping the commitments to myself. And my hope in doing this is that you're able to learn from my experience, and that as you are working towards accomplishing and achieving your goals for this year, that some of the things that I'm learning and experiencing may be helpful to you. I want to begin by going to my definite chief aim, or my goal statement for the year, and I'll read to you that part of the goal, and then I'll give you an update on how I'm doing. I now have a habit of waking up at 5:30 Monday through Friday. I sleep in a little bit longer on the weekend. My day begins with my power hour, where I pray and meditate, read from the scriptures and other positive self-help books, express my declarations of who I am, read my definite chief aim, and then plan my day. I'm going to let you know how I'm doing with that. I went back through my journal, my day planner, and looked at how I'm doing with each one of these goals. So what I've learned is that in order to make big changes, it's important that we first make little changes in our life, because it's our habits that create our outcomes. And life and the goals that we set are really about helping us to become someone different than who we are. And as we become and make changes, that all influences our beliefs, it influences our behaviors, and then our behaviors determine our outcomes. Waking up at 5:30 every morning, that's a challenge for me, because I like to stay up late and then I have a hard time getting up in the morning. I feel pretty good about what I've done. So out of 25 days, so that would be Monday through Friday, because again, I sleep in a little bit longer on the weekends. I've gotten up at 5:30 17 out of the 25 days. So not perfect, but for me, that's doing pretty good. And as I've looked back over this past month, the days in which I don't or didn't get up at 5:30 was for two different reasons. One, either I did stay up too late the night before. So there was a couple of times I was up until about 2 in the morning. And so 5:30 comes pretty early. It was a lack of discipline on my part to make myself either go to bed or allow myself to experience the consequence of not having as much sleep by getting up at 5:30 in the morning. So that's something that I'm continuing to work on. The second thing is, prayer for me. This I've done better with, because that's more of a habit that I have. So I prayed 32 out of 33 days. Pretty good with that. The next one is reading from the scriptures or from another self-help book. Again, I've done pretty good with that. So I did that 26 out of 33 days. The next one is my declaration. So my positive affirmations, or I am statements about who I am. And the purpose of this, remember, is affirmations are ways of getting who we want to be, or changing some of the negative thoughts or beliefs that we have in the subconscious part of our brain and replacing them with true beliefs, or beliefs that of who we want to be and who we want to become. So I've stated my declarations 21 out of the 33 days. Pretty good, but room for improvement. The next one is my definite chief aim, or my goal statement. And again, that's what I read from at the beginning of this video. The things that I want to accomplish in this year, I only did that 15 out of the 33 days. And as I've looked at that, it's because my definite chief aim, or my goal statement, is quite long. I wanted it to be that way to encompass as many areas of my life as I can, and to try to get emotion connected to that. But here's the thing, if there's something that you are trying to incorporate or to do on a daily basis, and your definite chief aim is for sure one of these things, if it's not something that you look forward to, then it's probably not going to be real helpful to you. So I believe there's some things that I can do with my definite chief aim to change that up, so that it's something that I look forward to, that I see as being beneficial and helpful to me, because I did that less than half of the time, so just under 50%. And then the last thing that's part of my power hour is planning for my day. And I did that the same as my definite chief aim. So I did that only 15 out of the 33. What I found about that is when I get up in the morning and when I get up at 5:30, it's definitely easier for me to put into place all of the things of my power hour. If I don't get up at 5:30, it's tougher for me to do that. I got up at 5:30 17 days. And again, my definite chief aim and my planning, I did that 15 of those days. So as I'm looking back over this past 33 days and kind of evaluating, it gives me information to help me know what's working and what's not working and what I can do to change to improve moving forward. Now let me just give you a little bit of an update on how I'm doing with some of my other parts of the definite chief aim. I stay in there that I I exercise 3 to 6 times a week. Haven't done so well with that. A few of the weeks I did exercise 3 or more times, but there were also a few weeks that I exercised less than 3 days per week. Again, that's part of my physical goal of helping me to lose weight and to become healthier, and also part of my goal to run an ultra marathon this year and ultimately to run a 100-mile race. So I can improve on exercising more consistently, but that connects to my other goal of getting to a weight of 165 pounds and maintaining that weight. I haven't lost any weight. So I still have 10 or 11 pounds to lose to get to that ideal weight, an area, again, in my goals that I can improve on. The next thing on there was to run an ultra marathon, and I'm happy to say that I did that. So 2 weeks ago, I ran a 50K race. My goal was to complete it in under 8 hours, and I did that. It was 7 hours and 48 minutes in order to accomplish that. So I feel good about that. In some other videos, I will share with you more of what I learned through that experience of running that ultra marathon. The next goal was learning to play the piano this year, and I'm struggling with that one. I have actually misplaced the piano book that I was using to learn from, and I haven't been able to find that. The question is, what's going on with that? Do I really have a strong desire to play the piano, or is that a goal that I've set that maybe isn't really a goal, or am I allowing other things to get in the way to keep me from accomplishing that goal? The last few things on there are open a wilderness program by June 1st, 2019. Some interesting things have happened with that. The individuals that we were working with that were actually part of our residential treatment center, and they were the ones that were interested in opening and running a wilderness program. They made a decision to go a different direction with their life. And so we've had to relook that and now come up with some other individuals that we could get to help develop and to run that program. So some pretty neat things have happened with that as we have put this goal out there, and as we've continued to move forward, we have found other people that are interested, and we're talking with them, trying to figure out if it's going to be a good fit and something that we can move forward with. That's an example of what happens when we put goals out. The way to achieve that goal doesn't happen the way that we think that it will or expect it will. And so then the question is, what do we do when that happens? Do we quit and give up, or do we keep moving forward and figure out another route to accomplish that? By August 1st, the goal was to have our Quest boarding school filled to capacity. It is up and running. We currently have 5 students there with 2 more that are in the works of enrolling. So we're moving forward in that goal. And then our goal to have 2 additional boarding schools opened by September. Some really exciting things are happening with this goal. So again, that was a goal that I put out there at the beginning of the year with no idea about how that would come to pass or who we would do it with. This past month has been amazing with the connections that I have been able to make with new people that weren't even part of my life over a month ago. So there's some exciting things that can happen with this. Again, at this point, I don't still have a plan, and I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, but that plan is becoming a little bit clearer, and my belief about the ability to achieve that goal is growing stronger, and I'm excited about that. The final one on there is to have a boys residential program in place by October of this year. That's a goal that still haven't done much with. My focus has been on some of the other things that goal is still there, and there are some things that I need to do to help me know if the direction that I think we will go to accomplish that goal is the direction that we need to proceed. So there's some things that I need to do with that goal. One other part of the goal was, of one thing that we wanted to accomplish this year, was to establish a 501c3, a nonprofit organization. I gained some new information this past month that is a goal that is probably out of sequence for where we're at right now in our life, financially and business-wise. And I was told that that is something that we should probably put on the back burner and wait until we have some other things in place. So with that information, I've modified that part of my goal for this year, and I've taken that off as one of the things to accomplish this year. I hope that as I've shared with you the progress that I've made this month and the things that I've learned and the things that I'm seeing, that's been helpful to you as well. And I encourage you to continue to move forward with your goals and to push through the obstacles and challenges that you're facing, and know that as long as we don't quit, as long as we continue to persist and to learn and to grow, we can accomplish anything that we put out there as things that we want to do and accomplish in our life. Thanks for watching today. I'd love to hear how you are doing with your goals for the year. Comment below and share your experiences, or if you have any questions about things that you're facing, put those in the comments as well. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and visit our website at principlebasedliving.com. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure and follow me here.